Hey guys, welcome back to The Lonely Nerd. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the tragedies that have struck in the last few weeks across the nation and how that's affected us as a nation. Not really related to the nerdy side of my life, but it is still something that affects a lot of people and in some way actually affects all of us. And I'm going to leave you guys with a quote that I think really speaks to this idea that we're all connected and that what we do shapes the future. So as you guys know, over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of, mass shootings, police confrontations, all sorts of tragedies that have struck across the nation. And there's been a lot of, argument over, different lives mattering more than others, or, different rights and, people being profiled. And ideally we would live in a world where it doesn't matter, what the color of your skin is or what your job is, what, anything about you. All that matters is that you're part of, the same race. And it gets into this idea that, we're all part of communities, but within that community or within what we identify as, we're part of much larger groups. Here we're all Americans, in the United States. But we're also more than Americans. We're humans. We're part of the human race. And across the globe, we're all connected as the human race. And there's only one human race. And it's really sad to see, people turning against each other and people hurting each other because of differences, when in reality, we are all the same in some way or another. Unfortunately, we do live in a time and a society in which people are going to judge you based on the way you look. People are going to judge you on the things you do in your life. And we're going to make impressions of you, and it's going to be hard to change our mind of those. And that's just a sad reality of the world we live in. But know that it's not just those impressions and those ideas that define us. You are free to define yourself and to do whatever you want with your life. Be who you want to be and be an individual. That's what makes it so amazing, is that, even though we all are humans, we are all so different. Going back onto the point about these tragedies is that if you look across, just in the last month of these major tragic events that happen, it's not just one group that's been, attacked. There have been many groups. And some are getting more attention than others. And that's just because of where society is in time and what we're fighting for and what the beliefs are right now. And that's not to say that any of them are more or less tragic or important than anything. Anytime that someone loses their life, it's a tragic event. It doesn't matter who they were or why, really. It's still a tragedy, and it should be, marked as that. So I want to read you guys this quote that is from my favorite author, David Mitchell, in his book called Cloud Atlas. There's also a movie of the same name, and it's spoken by Sony451, and the quote is this: "Our lives are not our own. From womb to tomb we are bound to others, past and present, and by each crime and every kindness we birth our future." That quote really resonates with me because it's this idea that even though we're all different and we might think that our actions don't affect others, they do. Everything we do affects someone. And collectively, what we do as a human race is going to shape what tomorrow looks like, what 100 years from now is going to look like. And it's sad that we are putting so much tragedy and so much hate out into the world right now, and that's what we're shaping our future to be, unfortunately. It's not right that people are afraid to go outside, or that people are, afraid to be who they are because of, other people's actions or other people's beliefs. That's not fair to them, and it's not fair to society. That's what makes the human race so great, is that we can all be individuals and be who we want to be, and that we shouldn't be prosecuted because of that. What we need to realize is that, what we put out into the world is what we're shaping the world to be. So if we fill it with hate, unfortunately, I fear a future filled with hatred. But if we put kindness and love and generosity, that we can build a better tomorrow, one that's filled not with hatred, but with peace and with, happiness, where that's what people live for. And I mean, that's the thing, is especially in these tragic times, you gotta remember that there is still happiness out there, that there is still good in the world. Even if it's hard to find in those dark times, it's still there. And that's really what I try to do, is live every day with a smile. Even on the worst days, you still try to smile, you still try to laugh, find something to make it worthwhile. And it's hard to see sometimes how these events affect you, especially if you're so far away or if you don't have anyone, involved in them. But it does. And it's definitely something that really, makes me sad. That as great as, the world could be and all that we have, is that this was what we resort to. So what I ask of you all is to please be kind to one another, share love and kindness in the world, not crime, and through that we'll be able to build that future that we want. I'm sorry if this was kind of, not as upbeat and as nerdy as my other ones, but this has been such a major event and such a trend recently that I really just, and I'm no expert on this at all. I'm not, I don't really have much to say in terms of what's right or what's wrong. All I can tell you is what I see, and how I think we could move away from this, and how we could start to fix some of the tragedy and some of the sadness that is facing our nation, and not just our nation, across the globe as well, so that we build that better future for us. So yeah, that's kind of that. Please be kind to one another. Smile, have fun in life. It's not all tragedy and sadness, even if it may seem like it. It's not. There are good things out there, so keep your head up and things will get better. So as always, my friends, stay nerdy.